Welcome back. We are now on to lesson 2 of my IELTS listening course. And in today's lesson, we're going to cover big and difficult numbers, as well as the multiple choice question type. A little bit about me. As you know, I'm a university professor, IELTS examiner, test writer, and teacher. A couple new little facts about me. My favorite music is jazz. I'm a big fan of Miles Davis in particular. And my hometown is Vermilion, South Dakota. That is in the United States. It is a very unpopular city, a very non-famous city, but it has a little charm here and there. Anyway, look it up if you're curious. Just a reminder of our course outline. Here in lesson 2, we're covering multiple choice, but you can see the other question types ready for our next few lessons. Now, we're going to study how to listen for big numbers. All right? So, rarely do you see numbers higher than 6 digits. Okay? You very rarely see something in the millions. You want to listen for both sides of the comma. So, notice the comma in the middle of that big word, or that big number there, 999,999. You want to listen for both sides with the comma in the middle. That word thousand comes right in the middle. 999,999. So here, 450,000, 5. Right, so listen for both sides of the thousand. 923,000, 124. 12,401. Right, so listen for both sides of the thousand. All right, we're going to do a little quiz here. I am going to read for you 10 big numbers, and I want you to listen for the answers. Okay, so take out a piece of paper or a new document on your computer, and I want you to write or type out the numbers in order. Okay, and we'll go over the answers when we're done. So, here we go. Number 1, 290. Number 2, 3,400. Number 3, 71,805. Number 4, 21,661. Number 5, 200,002. Number 6, 750,000. Number 7, 80,490. Number 8, 19,090. Number 9, 15,488. And number 10, 50,015. Oh. You already did that. So, here's our answers. 290, 3,400, 71,805, 21,661, 200,002, 750,000, 80,490, 19,090, 15,488, 50,015. Okay. Now, I would imagine that numbers 7, 8, 9, and 10, you may have had more trouble with because those are difficult numbers. And we're going to see that in our next section. Okay, so there are certain numbers that are difficult. And these are the most difficult ones. 13, 30, 14, 40, 15, 50. They're difficult because they sound similar. So I want to give you some advice on how they are different so that you can start to practice listening for the differences. counting by tens. So when children learn how to count by tens, okay, 10, 20, 30, 40, like this, they fall into a kind of a rhythm. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example. Imagine that I am a child. I'm learning to count by tens. Here's how the rhythm goes. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. You hear that rhythm there? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, da 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 da. There's a rhythm when you say the 10, 30, 40, 50. It's because the first syllable is stressed, right? 4, and the second syllable is unstressed. 40, 50. And it causes you to form a rhythm when you speak. 40. There are 40 people there. 40 people, 40 people, 40 people. There's a rhythm to it. Okay? On the other side, there's a game called hide and seek. And the children's game. And one person closes their eyes, okay, and counts to 20. Right? And then all of the other children hide, and the person counting has to go and find them. I'm assuming you have this game in your country as well. It's a pretty worldwide game, I think. And when children are counting to 20, right, they get up to 10, and then here's how it sounds. It sounds like this. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Notice the difference there. There's no kind of swing rhythm. It's very straight. 13, 14, 15. It's because each syllable, 13, is equally stressed. Okay? So the rhythm is more like a march. 13, 14, 15. Compare that with counting by tens. 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, so it's about rhythm. Not only the stress and the letter T, it's really about the rhythm of the word. Okay, so here's an example. I have $14 in my account. I have $14 in my account. Da, da, da. $14. So equal stress. It makes a very straight kind of marching rhythm. I have $40 in my account. $40. $40. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. So first, $14. Second, $40. There is a difference there. I'm exaggerating it a bit, okay? But every native speaker will have this difference in terms of the rhythm that you hear. So knowing that, as you practice, listen for the rhythm. Okay? This is not a skill that will suddenly happen. You need to practice it. But if you practice it being consciously aware that rhythm is a big separator here, you will start to pick it up better. You will start to understand these numbers a little bit better. Okay, so this is a starting place. This understanding is a starting place to improving your skills with listening for numbers. Let's do a quiz. All right, so get ready to write something down. Okay, there'll be 10 questions, and we'll start now. So if you need some time, pause the recording and resume it when you're ready. But here we go. Here are the questions. Ready? Number 1. I'll give you a full sentence rather than just the number, okay? So number 1, I have $40 in my account. I have $40 in my account. Number 2, there were 60 sandwiches. There were 60 sandwiches. Number 3, I have 15 friends. I have 15 friends. Number 4. There are 18 coins on the table. There are 18 coins on the table. Number 5. My friend has 70 books. My friend has 70 books. Number 6. I have $50. I have $50. Number 7. She has 14 pairs of shoes. She has 14 pairs of shoes. Number 8. There were 1,400 people at the wedding. There were 1,400 people at the wedding. Number 9. The stadium can hold 16,000 people. The stadium can hold 16,000 people. And number 10. Her bank balance is $1,014. Her bank balance is $1,014. Okay, and here's our answers. 40, 60, 15, 18, 70, 50, 14, 1,400, 16,000, 1,014. Okay, so if you need to listen to that quiz again, go back, rewind the recording, and listen again. But I hope you did well there. Notice number 8, 9, and 10 are also kind of bigger numbers, so that adds an extra level of difficulty. Okay, let's move on to multiple choice questions now. All right, so again, think from the writer's perspective. Let's talk about how this type of question is written. Every multiple choice question has 2 traps. 1 correct answer, 2 traps. Each wrong answer is mentioned in the passage. The traps get more difficult with each section. Okay, so section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, it gradually gets more difficult, as you can expect. Now, again, writing a question with a trap, you start with a full sentence. Right? I covered this in the last lesson, but let's cover it one more time. You start with this sentence. This would be in the question set. Okay? We take out a word or two. We think of other possible answers, right? City center, train station. Okay, so the correct answer is beach, but we think of 2 other possible answers. Okay, they can come before or after, and we try to create a natural context for the answer and the traps to be mentioned. Okay, here's an example. Well, our old apartment was near the train station, so we're familiar with that area, and most of our friends live near the city center, but ideally, we would like to be situated close to the beach. Trap, trap, correct answer. Here's 2 traps after the answer. Well, our ideal location is adjacent to the beach. We looked at places near the train station, but they seemed a little expensive. We're open to other options as long as we can avoid living near the city center. Okay, so again, correct answer, incorrect, or trap, trap. And we can also have 1 trap before and 1 trap after. We looked at a few apartments near the train station, and we were less than impressed. All things considered, our ideal location so far is adjacent to the beach. However, we're open to other options as long as we can avoid living near the city center. Trap, answer, trap. Okay, and normally, as I mentioned last time, the answer, the paraphrasing is going to match the trap. So near the city center. That's the incorrect answer. But notice it sounds similar. Near the blank. Near the blank. The correct answer often has more paraphrasing. So the correct answer here is beach. And notice situated within walking distance of. That doesn't sound like near, but the meaning is the same. All right, and then let's review how to prepare for these listening questions. It's going to be the same process as preparing for the fill in the blank, okay, or the completions that we did in lesson 1. Okay, underline the keywords, write the possible paraphrases, and then while you're listening, watch out for the before and after traps, and keep an eye on the next question. Don't fall behind, and don't panic. Okay, so the preparation is going to be the same as we're going to see in the following example. All right, guys. So this section here, this multiple choice section, let's go through and find the key words in this section. Okay, we're just looking at questions 21 through 27. Okay, this one is arranged a little bit differently than most, I would say. Usually the first 5 questions or maybe 6 questions, and then you get a break. This time we have 7 questions all in a row. Okay, but this will be really good practice for us. All right, so the key thing here is majoring. Okay, all majoring in, and then we've got one of these 3 choices. Okay. Now we've got the aim. Okay, the aim of the study was to investigate. We want to investigate something. The first thing we want to do, by the way, is to find the keywords in this is called the stem of the question. There's the stem and then the answer choices. We want to focus on the stem. Okay, the answer choices we can read kind of on the spot, but the stem we should be able to get right away because we need to listen for it. Okay, so these female students were wrong. Okay, the female physics students as well. Okay, the female physics students. Okay. And ask the students to write about something. Okay, the aim of the writing exercise. Okay, that's what we're listening for here. And we want to see what surprised the students. Or the researchers, what surprised the researchers about the study. And the results could have been affected by something. Okay, so again, we want to focus on the stem first of all. Right? First, focus on the stem. And then if you have time, you can read through these questions or the answer choices, but in all likelihood, you're not going to have time to read all of that. So take them as they go. Okay, the key thing is to have the keywords in the question stem sorted so that you can keep up with the listening. Okay, section 4 is always going to be hard. There's way too much text here. Or sorry, this is section 3. But there's way too much text here to find all the keywords. So you're going to have to take it one by one. Okay, but if you have time, you can get a couple of these keywords maybe. So looking at number 2, we can see what kind of. We can see a way of improving. right? And whether fewer women than men. Okay, so those are kind of three different keywords that you could notice there, or three different phrases that you could hear. Okay, here we could see unfair. We could see something about the expectations. And here we've got the test results. Oh, my goodness. Excuse me. Okay. Looking through here, again, we want to focus on the ones with the longer text. These are going to be easy to kind of do it one by one. And like number 27 should be pretty easy. Number 25 should be pretty easy. But like 24 and 26, those are fairly long. So let's see, 24, what they enjoyed. Okay, successful experiences of other people. And something that was important to them personally. Okay, and then here, 26. What do we got in 26? Think about A grades. Okay, few students managed to get A grades. And positive impact. All right. And here we've got the difference between male and female. All right. So like I said, you may not have time to do all of this keyword matching, but start with the question STEM and then move on to the answer choices. Okay? All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and read the script, okay? So, get ready, pause the video if you need to, and get ready to answer. Okay, Greg, so I finally managed to read the article you mentioned, the one about the study on gender in physics, about the study of college students done by Ikira Miyake and his team. Yeah, I was interested that the researchers were actually a mix of psychologists and physicists. It's an unusual combination. Yeah, I got a little confused at first about which students the study was based on. They weren't actually majoring in physics. They were majoring in what's known as the STEM disciplines. That's science, technology, engineering, and math. Yes, but they were all doing physics courses as part of their studies. That's correct. So as I understood it, Miyake and co. started from the fact that women are underrepresented in introductory physics courses at college, and also that on average, the women who do enroll on these courses perform more poorly than the men. No one really knows why this is the case. Yeah, but what the researchers wanted to find out was basically what they could do about the relatively low level of the women's results. But in order to find a solution, they needed to find out more about the nature of the problem. Right. Now, let's see if I can remember. It was that in the physics class, the female students thought that the male students all assumed that women weren't any good at physics. Was that it? And they thought that the men expected them to get poor results in their tests? That's what the women thought, and that made them nervous, so they did get poor results. But actually they were wrong. No one was making any assumptions about the female students at all. Anyway, what Miyake's team did was quite simple, getting the students to do some writing before they went into the physics class. What did they call it? Values affirmation. They had to write an essay focusing on things that were significant to them, not particularly to do with the subject they were studying, but more general things like music or people who mattered to them. Right. So the idea of doing the writing is that this gets the students thinking in a positive way. And putting these thoughts into words can relax them and help them overcome the psychological factors that lead to poor performance. Yeah, but what the researchers in the study hadn't expected was that this one activity raised the women's physics grades from the C to the B range. A huge change. Pity it wasn't to an A, but still. No, but it does suggest that the women were seriously underperforming beforehand in comparison with the men. Yes, mind you, Miyake's article left out a lot of details, like did the students do the writing just once or several times? And had they been told why they were doing the writing? That might have affected the results. You mean if they know the researchers thought it might help them to improve, then they just try to fulfill that expectation? Exactly. Now let's take a look at the script and see if we can look at our answers, see if we got our answers right, okay? So they're all majoring in what's known as the STEM disciplines: science, technology, engineering, and math. Okay, so C is the correct answer there. That one should have been pretty easy. Okay. Number 22, the aim was to investigate something. So what the researchers wanted to find out was basically what they could do about the relatively low level of the women's results. What they could do, a way of improving women's performance. Okay, what they could do about the low level of the women's results. Okay, so B is the correct answer there. 21 C, 22 B. 23. Let's see, we have, but actually they were wrong. No one was making any assumptions about the female students at all. Okay, so they were wrong. Okay, so the key word there, wrong, to believe that the assumptions, no one was making any assumptions. And this, by the way, was a kind of connection from what Lisa said up here. Okay, Lisa said the female students thought the male students assumed that women weren't any good at physics. So the female students believed the male students expected them to do badly. Right? It was all about the male students' expectation, right? And they were wrong to think that. Okay, they had that belief, but it was incorrect. So B is the correct answer there. Now 24, Miyake's team asked the students to write about something, to write an essay focusing on things that were significant to them. Not particularly to do with the subject they were studying. So not about physics, so not A, right? But more general things like music or people who mattered to them. I think definitely C would be correct. Okay, something important to them personally. Something that was significant to them. C is the correct answer. 25, the aim of the writing exercises. Putting these thoughts into words can relax them and help them overcome the psychological factors that lead to poor performance. Actually, Lisa kind of says it here. The idea of doing the writing is that this gets the students thinking in a positive way, right? And putting these thoughts into words can relax them and help them overcome. Okay? So we're looking at kind of positive thinking and relaxation. Logical thinking, no. Verbal ability, no. Stress, okay, can relax them and overcome the psychological factors. Sounds like stress. Okay, so A would be correct. 26, what surprised the researchers? So what the researchers in the study hadn't expected, okay, they were surprised, this one activity raised the women's physics grades from C to a B. Looks like B would be correct. The positive impact, right? It raised from a C to a B. Okay, not between the male and female. We're not comparing. We're just saying the results for women raised. Okay, and actually Lisa mentions A afterwards, and that's the trap for A. Pity it wasn't an A, but still. Okay, so that's not what they're focusing on. She's making a little joke there. The researchers were surprised that women's grades went up, and that matches B, our answer. And 27, Greg and Lisa think Miyake's results could have been affected by something. And had they been told why they were doing the writing, that might have affected the result. So here we have the word that, allowing us to reverse. We have the word affected here. The key word comes after the answer. We're using a pronoun there. This is rare. We don't do this very often. Writers don't do this very often because it's quite difficult. So we only do it once or twice in the whole test. But you can see it here. So the answer is, had they been told why they were doing the writing? So it looks like not the number, not the length, but the information the students were given. Okay? The information in this case being the purpose. The students didn't know the purpose. Okay? They didn't have that information. But notice our keyword affected appears after the answer. So that's rare, but it does happen. Okay? So don't panic if you're listening for affected and you don't hear it right away. You have to kind of have a little bit of patience, and you have to have a good memory, because you have to remember what they said just previous to that. Okay, so the answer there is C. All right, now you can see how identifying the keywords, especially in the question stem, that is what makes sure that you're following along with the listening. The understanding of how traps work, that is going to help you long term. The more you practice, the more you will see what the writer is doing. Okay? It's all about being observant and being an active listener and studying in an active way. Okay? Being observant about these things. That's the key. All right, you guys. Well, that is our example, and that's the end of lesson 2. Okay, if you have any questions on the answers to these, and if you need any further explanation, I'm always available. So just contact me through the VIP group, okay, the VIP QQ group, or if you have not gotten in touch with me personally, you've definitely been in touch with my assistant. So just ask her to put us in touch. I'm always happy to give one-on-one help to anyone who bought one of my courses. Okay. So if you need help, if you need more explanation, even if there's an exercise you're doing in another book on your own, okay, and you want me to explain why a certain answer is correct, feel free to ask me anytime, okay? All right, thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.